When we hear stories of people getting hurt, our hearts usually sink. But this one is different. It has a pretty remarkable twist. A young boy was wandering in the woods near his home when he stumbled upon an animal trap and got his leg stuck. Despite being in immense pain, the boy still had enough strength to cry out for help. And that's when something incredible happened. A wolf from nearby came and did something that could leave us all in a hefty state of wonder and shock. What did he do? Did he harm the boy or help him anyway? Let's find out in the story. The cold winter air of this remote village was a harsh reminder that life could be difficult. The man and woman who lived there with their 12-year-old son had to fight hard to survive, but they made it work. The man ran a successful hunting business in the nearby forest, while the woman did some farming. Though times weren't always simple, their son brought sunshine into their home and life. He was full of joy and vivaciously eager for anything that would make him smile wider than before. Those magical moments remained the bread and butter for life to keep rolling around the household with its new stars. For days on end, their son asked for his unique pet he could intimately call his own. Kids feel completely drawn to the creatures around them. They need a pet by their side, someone to bond with, someone who always remains excited to see and give sibling rivalry space in their imaginations. Who would say no to some curling up on the couch for cuddles during family time? Pets contribute positively to a child's development, encouraging an emotional connection between pet and owner. Knowing they have an animal friend always ready to play opens up valuable opportunities to children who otherwise may not get much quality free time with their busy guardians or parents. This boy was also one of those kids who deliberately needed a pet to have fun with. But his parents were hesitant. They weren't sure he was old enough or responsible for caring for a pet. Still, his enthusiasm never dimmed, and one fateful day, something changed everything. His uncle made an unexpected visit from out of town one day. Upon arriving, he proudly presented his nephew with a mysterious surprise box. When opened, the boy's face lit up with joy, full of anticipation to learn what extraordinary gift was enclosed within. To his delight, much to his astonishment, the delightful present was indeed a little puppy. As the furry friend excitedly explored his new surroundings, it became clear that this precious canine was all for him. The young one couldn't contain, nor mask, his elation for receiving such a thoughtful contingency. His solemn dream of caring for a four-legged companion had finally become a reality today. But his parents' consent was still to be taken. His parents saw how much happiness this tiny creature brought into their home and reluctantly allowed him to keep her as long as he cared for her properly.
It's my mum and dad when I was young as well. Good night.
Everyone could see how happy this puppy made the boy, including his parents, who welcomed its addition into their family wholeheartedly. The boy started growing very attached to this pup, teaching it tricks and spending most of his free time playing with it or just cuddling up next to it for warmth on cold days like these. Life became more joyful than ever due to this little addition into their lives. Not only the boy but his parents were also happy seeing their son more happy and colorful these days. They thought they should have bought him a pet earlier. Things were going extremely bright and smooth, and this new puppy filled their lives with immense pleasure and contentment. But who knew their happiness would take a turn into dire sadness? Before we move ahead, I want you to smash that red subscribe button and like the video. One night, however, they heard something that changed everything. A soft wolf howl coming from outside. At first, everyone thought nothing of it, but then they realized the sound was coming from inside their house. They followed the sound until they reached in front of their son's room, where he and his pet were sleeping. They entered the room with curiosity to discover how a wolf could be inside their son's room. Soon they got shocked to see that the pet they were thinking of as a puppy was a wolf cub. What? Was the boy sleeping with a dangerous wild animal? What was going to happen next? Both parents were worried about their son, who had got extremely attached to the wolf, and it would be difficult for him to accept the truth. But they couldn't leave their only child in the shadow of such biggest harm. They decided to talk to their child, and so did they. They spoke to their son softly and calmly, informing him that it was not a puppy but a wolf. They posed a question of profound importance to the young boy. What did he want? The son thought carefully before he answered. His voice thick with emotion, he said, "It's very hard for me not to have my pet by my side, but I know this is his right. He should be able to roam free in the wild. His logic was undeniable. Pets cannot thrive when trapped in captivity. Animals deserve a chance to spread their wings and experience life like they are meant to. At that moment, the son saw he had been selfish, asking himself this impossible question: can life ever go back to normal without them? But the son upheld his answer with a deep understanding of freedom. He chose for his pet to remain in its natural habitat, no matter how tempting it may have been to keep them by his side at all times. They were shocked at first, but then quickly came up with what should be done about it. Since this wild animal belonged back in nature where he would be free from harm's way, they decided to explain everything carefully to their son, so that he could make an informed decision about what should be done next. After much discussion and contemplation on both sides of the table, it was unanimously agreed that releasing him into a nearby forest would be best for everyone involved, including himself. So one fine day, they took the little wolf cub and released it in the nearby forest. They were all sad but happy that a wolf would live the life he deserved. Nobody could tell that they would meet this wolf again after 5 years. It had been 5 years since the boy, now a grown-up man, had said goodbye to his beloved pet wolf. He still remembered that fateful day when he had released her into the wild forest, and tears filled his eyes at the thought of it. He was now also in the hunting business as his father and loved to hunt birds and explore nature all day in the nearby forest. Today was different. He searched for prey on this cold, snowy, foggy day. As he walked through the dense foliage, suddenly his foot got stuck in an animal trap, and a sharp pain shot up from his leg, causing him to cry loudly. The pain was unbearable. Soon enough, he blacked out due to exhaustion and shock. When he awoke again, he found himself inside a hospital bed with soft blankets around him, as if they were protecting him from something dark outside. He saw here and there and found himself surrounded by concerned faces, his parents. They informed him that they were extremely worried about his absence from home until late at night and were thinking of searching for him in the nearby area. They had suddenly stumbled upon a wolf dragging something back home with its teeth clamped firmly around his clothes. His curiosity piqued as he heard these words, but before he could ask more questions, a sudden scratching came from outside their door, followed by heavy panting. The man's face lit up with joy when he realized who it was, his long-lost pet wolf he hadn't seen for 5 years. With tears streaming down his face, he embraced it tightly, never wanting to let go again. He too licked her master's face, lovingly acknowledging their reunion after a long period apart. He was also ashamed for not looking up to the wolf even once in those 5 years. It is called true loyalty and love of an animal. With this, we must wrap up the video. We hope you like the story and want to share it within your circle. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video before leaving. Leave your thoughts about this story in the comment section below. Waiting to see you in the next video. Have a great day.